Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bobble Pod. This is episode 11. Yes, episode 11. Definitely episode 11. All right, I'm already confused with where we are. It's been that many episodes into season 3. And in this one, you're going to really enjoy because in a few episodes back, I talked about crypto, blockchain, what is it? And in this one, I'm going to talk about crypto and NFTs in marketing and what does it all mean. And just give some initial insights really for anyone who's interested in terms of what's going on in the world right now, how companies are using it, and what does it all mean. So before we begin, as always, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe across all our podcast streaming platforms. Do give some feedback on us, ask questions, queries. We'll pick them up in future episodes and we'll take it from there. If you're on YouTube, hello YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell notification for when we launch our weekly episodes as a video. So crypto and NFTs in marketing, what does it all mean? So first things first, I've got Callum and Josh in the room, as I always have, with me. Do you guys know what a crypto is? What is crypto? Here comes Callum. Callum's coming in. Callum, if I said what's crypto, what do you think it is?
Is it electronic sort of money as such? So sort of in a weird way, it's like tender, so coinage, but in a digital form.
So yeah, cryptocurrency is any kind of currency that exists digitally or virtually and uses what we call cryptography to secure transactions. Now, what you need to be aware of, unlike the actual money in your bank, there's no actual central issuing or regulating authority behind cryptocurrency. Instead, they use what they call a decentralized system to record transactions and issue new units. But it's very revolutionary and a new way of doing things because whereas a bank is the central authority, is the central base of how money works right now, and it is to some degree digital because you do online banking. What happens is when you complete a transaction, the bank looks and checks your record saying, actually, this person wants to buy something for £50. There's £500 in their bank. The bank makes a note of it, removes £50 out of your account. That money gets transferred to whoever you're paying that 50 quid to. And then for that transaction, the bank gets paid for that transaction. Right, gets a small kickback for doing that. And imagine that, but over millions of people, essentially. And that's just one element of how a bank works. You've got savings, you've got lending and extra like that. Cryptocurrency is different because it's a decentralized system. It works differently. So basically the collective group of people that own that crypto element say, yes, this person owns this, as opposed to a bank and a book. And essentially the way it works is that it issues the same kind of funds where it's a digital currency or crypto, and then you move that, and then it says, yes, this person no longer owns this, but on record it has it. And then the difference means that one random person benefits from it as opposed to everyone benefit, the bank benefit from it. So basically more control, more decentralized, and more opportunities from it. Now from crypto, you want to know what is an NFT, because the reason I want to explain what crypto is, because in order for you to buy an NFT or transact with an NFT, more often than not, you have to do it with a cryptocurrency. And there's so much cryptocurrency going right now. And right now, if you watch something like Impulsive, Logan Paul and his podcast, and you look at what's going on in the crypto market and Bitcoin and Ethereum, it is all crashing. It is almost like a recession of cryptocurrencies in terms of market elements. Lots of people lost millions in value, but then again, was it ever centralized? Was there ever any kind of issuing authority? No. However, is it the end of cryptocurrency? No. Why? Because the G7 have come out and said they're going to create their own digital crypto coin that they can trade with, but the government's going to do what they're always going to do, is they're going to ruin it, and they want more control over it. And they want to be able to make more money from it and have power and element over it. Now, this isn't me going out on some conspiracy stuff and trying to go after the government or anything like that, but I would rather back something like Ethereum and Bitcoin than, what Rishi Sunak's coming out with, because I just personally don't trust Rishi Sunak. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say in that one. We're going to move back on. So cryptocurrency is great. I have some crypto coins. Mine are mainly Bitcoin, Ethereum Classic, and that's about it. I stick to the main ones. And if anything, now's a good time to kind of like buy, because Bitcoin might go down. I think it was 18, 19,000 right now. And it might go down to 15. Some people say it might go down to 11,000. And when it gets to that point, if it goes to 8.7, then I think it will continue to go down. But again, I'm no expert. I'm no financial crypto advisor. This is just me doing my own research. And if you ever watch someone like Gary Vee, look what he said when he learned about NFTs. He spent about 50 hours of learning to know what the hell's going on. And now he's into like crypto punks and everything else. And you want to know what the hell that is. And you got Bored Apes that are selling for, $1 million, etc. But everything's fluctuating in the market because the value of cryptocurrency has dropped significantly when you're looking at 40% decrease in coin values. So cryptocurrency, essentially digital coin, and it's important to know what that is, because when I talk about NFTs, which is where the marketing element can really come from, is what is an actual NFT. So non-fungible, if I can get the word right, non-fungible token. So non-fungible token, what is it? What does it stand for? It represents real world objects like art, music, in-games art, items and videos, but represents them as a digital asset. So some NFTs like the Bored Ape Club, where you buy it, gives you certain benefits in the real world of having that NFT. So, for example, if you're on a Bored Ape Club, you're part of an elite membership. Perks come with that membership in terms of accessing the Bored Ape Yacht Club and elements like that. You'll get certain insights, you get the road track. The way I see it is, some NFTs will be really valuable because of other people that own NFTs. There's NFTs out there that put you in Discord chats with people like Elon Musk and other elements just by owning it. If you think about, and we're going to talk about the elite for a second here, is when people go to buy a Bugatti and there's multi-millionaires and billionaires in the room, you think they're talking about Bugattis? Hell no. They're there networking. They're there talking about business. They're meeting other big investors, business people. What do you do? What do you do? How do you make your millions? How do you make your millions? Stuff like race, gender, religion, all that goes out the window, because the only value of topic in that room is money. And they're all there buying exclusive cars at worth £4 or £5 million, and you're in the room. Now, NFTs allow you to do similar things. It allows you to own something. Most of us buy NFTs every single day if you're in the gaming sector and you don't realize it. So when you're playing something like Call of Duty and you buy a skin, that is essentially an NFT. You're basically owning the right to use something virtually in a game that you've paid money for. And that's the best example you get, because you trade real money for COD points, which is their crypto, essentially their virtual money coin, their coin, and then you use that coin to buy the skins. And only by buying the skin do you get to own it and use it. The difference being in games, I can buy it, Callum, you can buy it, Josh, you can own the same skin. The difference with NFT is only one person can have it, and that's what gives it its true value. So there's only one variation of one, Bored Ape NFT or CryptoPunk NFT. Now, there might be 10,000s and there's some overlap, but the more rare it is in terms of differentiations, the more valuable it becomes. Now, why do I talk about what an NFT is and how it works? Because there's another thing you need to understand. What is a blockchain? And in simple terms, a blockchain is a system of recording information in a way that makes it difficult or impossible to change, hack, or cheat the system. Blockchain is like the next phase of how we transact and use cloud-based systems and stuff like that. Without a blockchain, you can't really do anything. A blockchain is essentially a digital ledger of transactions that is duplicated and distributed across the entire network of computer systems on that blockchain. And, it's a system that records transactions, whether it's made in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency, and it's made and maintained across several computers that are linked in a peer-to-peer network. Now, you might be thinking, what the hell does all that mean? And I'll be honest with you, even I'm like, what the hell does that mean? But just think of the technology we use right now, how we use, OneDrive. Essentially, think of a OneDrive and how we can access that OneDrive everywhere, but Microsoft created, and it's a simple system. The best way to explain is that this is a recording information that is a little bit more advanced because it can't be changed, it can't be hacked, and you can't cheat the system. Whereas, financial markets and stuff like that, you can hack and cheat to some degree. You just got to look at how GameStop value went through the roof because people hacked and cheated and changed the way the market worked and manipulated it. You can't manipulate blockchain. It doesn't work like that. So the blockchain is the platform in which these transactions happen. Crypto is the currency in which it happens. NFT is the token, the asset that you own, but as a digital asset. Now, why is all that important and why have I spent the first 10 minutes explaining all that? Because the topic of this is crypto NFTs in marketing. Where does marketing come into NFTs? So we're seeing a lot more companies get on board with NFTs right now. And in particular, I want to talk about Nike, the Nike Dunk NFT. Nike sold an NFT sneaker for, does anyone want to guess?
I'm going to say probably, I'd say about 10, 20 grand.
No. Josh went stupidly way over $1 million after seeing 20 grand, typical. Doesn't understand anything. I don't know why I even recommend you sometimes as a video expert. Callum's giving me a horrible look. Was that a bit too harsh? Okay, it was a bit too harsh.
That was a bit too harsh.
The Nike sold an NFT sneaker for $134,000. It's a virtual shoe. For $134,000. I mean, wow. It's so that was in April. Nike released its first collection of virtual sneakers called Crypto Kicks. I liked it. I thought it was cool. I'm more of an Adidas man because I kind of worked with Adidas as a client during my time at Intermarketing. I became brand affinity, but I do like Nike. More recently, I've been buying, Air Jordans, Air Force Ones and stuff like that. So I like the design and the cool elements that come out with it, and it's really good. But the Crypto Kicks, which had 20,000 NFTs that Nike created, including one designed by the artist Takashima Marukami, was bought by someone named Ali Sajwani for $134,000. I mean, it's quite similar in terms of mechanics of NFTs around sneakers, because basically he now owns that virtual sneaker, and it's the only virtual sneaker of that design by that artist that will ever exist. So a lot of this stuff is art and valuability comes to it. So there's no way to put a value on something like that. It's just that was the highest bid at auction. Is it worth $134,000? Probably not. If you was to resell it, would he get more than $134,000? Yes. And actually, Josh, to kind of make it better, he might be able to sell that for $1 million in the future. So it's an investment to some degree. When you see that some Bored Apes have been bought for over $500,000, those people that bought it at original base value, are laughing now because they're making so much money. And when it comes to NFTs, the value is not in you buying. The value is with Nike selling. Because right now, the crypto market is very fluctuating. And prior to that, there was value for both. There was value for creating and there was value for buying and selling. People were buying NFTs for $10,000 and then they were selling them for $50,000, making a markup. But then once you've sold it, it's gone. It's off. The blockchain confirms that transaction. It's all a decentralized system. Everyone knows you no longer own it, but we all know who owns it. So there's no hiding from it. It's not like a black market out there of NFTs where, there's an underground of people buying illegal art and items that are not really for sale and should be in a museum. It's there for all to see. We know who owns it. We know the digital imprint, and that's what makes it secure. So we know that if you want to buy that, that's the person you have to go to buy it from. But that puts them in control when selling. And that's what I mean. There's no value in buying. There's only value in selling. Unless you get in and buy early on, the value comes to holding on to NFTs for a long time, having the rarity and selling it to someone who's willing to give up a lot of money. Unfortunately, I don't have $144,000 to buy a NFT crypto kicks Nike trainer, but that is Nike joining the NFT in the crypto world. That is Nike as a marketing campaign. And you got to just look at what they did to announce it. It was across their social medias. They made some videos about it. Sneakers as a market is worth billions. There's convention shows around the world. And all they did was tap into $1 billion market of sneakers and say, hey, we're taking this digitally. And the benefit is Nike sold millions of $1 million dollars of crypto kicks without actually creating a physical sneaker. And you're baffled by that, aren't you?
I'm slight, yeah.
Yes. So they made millions from selling the virtual NFT elements. Because now, if you think about how the metaverse and how things come, the value of owning that is that if you've ever watched the film, and I've talked about this before, Ready Player One, in theory, what that person can do is use those trainers as part of his avatar, and only he can wear that in that metaverse. If you think of Facebook becoming Meta, that's it. And this is where we're going back to the whole gaming system. People don't understand NFTs. It's a non-fungible token. It basically means you own the right to that digital asset. And once Meta is developed or anything, you can take that from a digital asset and use it as a, avatar. You have the rights to put that on your social platform. You have the rights to frame it. You can do whatever you want with it. You can even have the right to get that sneaker produced in that design to your size, so only you can wear it and only you can make them in that size and that design again and again and again, and nobody else can, because you own the right to that sneaker. It's basically giving people more control over the elements of what works.
So, for example, Manny, taking a football example,
yeah,
could you? So, say a football team produces an NFT of a famous kit, for example.
Yeah.
So they put that kit out on the market. Someone buys it. They then in the future in the metaverse, so their metaverse avatar gets to just wear that kit.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. So like you bought a skin in your game, you get to use it. You can switch it for other skins you bought. But if you own it, you can use it, providing it's transferable into the digital sphere in that way. So that's how it is. But look, Liverpool Football Club created their own NFTs with players and stuff and sold them. So it's not just Nike. Football teams are getting into it. Adidas will do it. You could have NFTs around footballs. You could have it around specific. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Banksy started creating some Banksy NFTs. They would be worth tons if he started doing some digital NFTs. And the value is his owning it. It's owning the digital element of it. And I have the right to it. I can then make a phone cover out of it. I can then have it as my wallpaper. I can do what I want to it. It's mine. I can do what I want with it. I have the rights to use it. Anybody else who uses it doesn't have the rights to use it. That you won't be able to. You won't be able to like save a picture of it, put on your social media, because I'm going to be like, hang on, what right do you have to use it? Look, I own this NFT. I own the intellectual property of this NFT because I paid for it. You don't. You don't get to use any kind of copyrighted material from it. It's like when you trademark your brand. I had a funny joke. We had our 5th birthday party and my family surprised me when my 2 nephews came in Bobble digital t-shirts. And the first thing I said to him, you're getting sued in the morning because that logo is trademarked and I did not give my authority for you to use my logo and get it printed. Which obviously my brother couldn't stop laughing because he knew what I was just being a bit of an idiot and laughing. But my sister-in-law, bless her, was like, oh, I thought you'd be more happy and surprised. I was like, I was really happy and surprised, but you saw it as an opportunity to make a joke. But that's just me. That's my personality. That's my character. But yeah, so that's what I mean. So it's like you trademark stuff. So there's value in it. So companies are creating it. I mean, I could create an NFT around the Bobble logo really and create it and keep it for myself. But it's all about, uniqueness and making things about that. And the benefit there is that, look, we've gone into what this all is. There's some great examples like Nike and what they're doing and how it all works. It's still in its infancy. It really is in its infancy. But there's, just to quickly summarize, here's how NFTs can be used for marketing. One is gaming. And we talked about gaming. Modern day games are one of the top areas for the market NFTs. It's popular because of games like Fortnite, where you can buy skins and stuff like that. That's an example. If you're an event organizer selling tickets, you can create an NFT ticket to admit one. So you can basically make your entrance, or you can pay for goods, or you can buy your ticket for your concert or sports events using NFT via Bitcoin. The fashion industry. Nike is retail, but there's also fashion. So don't be surprised when all these big brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Yves Saint Laurent, Gucci, all these start coming out with NFTs of certain designs and elements. That will happen. Pre-orders for products. You can you can buy an NFT that allows you to pre-order a particular product. And you can use it for good causes. Charities should be getting onto NFTs. Charities should be creating NFTs because when you order that, you can, own that particular NFT and you can support a good cause by doing it. And owning the NFT means you support that cause, because when an NFT is created, the owner gets a 20% commission on the resale value for perpetuity, forever. So when that Nike NFT for 134,000 sells for $1 million, $800,000 will go to the person who owns it. $200,000 will go to Nike. So if you think you're a charity, you create an NFT and people buy it for 50 quid, then it sells for 100 quid. That charity is going to get 20 quid every time it gets resold. But the charity creates 10,000 NFTs, sells them at 50 quid, makes, I don't know, how'd someone do the maths on that? Will make, I don't know, 50, I don't know, 500,000 or something like that. If that's my, yeah, 500,000. Yeah, about 500,000. They could make, sell 10,000 NFTs at £50. So, yeah, but then if all those NFTs sell for a higher value or get resold because someone else wants to support that charity, they're going to get 20% between transference. So that's how they can do elements of that. So there's value in creating NFTs, but it's very complicated. You need to understand the crypto market, the blockchain market, what an NFT is, how to create, how to upload it, how to mint it. I'm no expert, but I am in the process of creating our own. We've got something called Bobbleverse, which is going to be our own meta, which is going to be, where we're going to have our own NFTs that people can buy. And it's going to be like a marketplace of NFTs that are unique and where you'll be actually able to create your own NFTs and design stuff. So we're going to do things in a different way and give more control to you, the person who's buying, to give more value to the buyer. Because right now, as I said, there's more value to the seller. So we want to create a platform where there's value, not just for the seller, but for the buyer in a completely different way. A lot can be done with it with marketing. I've given some good examples there, how businesses are creating them and making money from them. And then it's the marketing element of that. And then how many people will talk about that? If you type in, and I think to get to that story, I typed in Nike NFT. Look how much content that comes up and how much, elements that come up. It's another way for people to connect and search and find your brand and do different things and appear in search results and build your brand presence. So to wrap up, NFTs are definitely a future element of marketing. A lot can be done with marketing. I've given some tips in terms of how you can use it for marketing, what people are doing, how big brands are using it. If you're a small business, there's not much you can really do unless you've got something unique that you can offer. But start reading into it, start looking into it, because in a couple of years' time, it's going to become the norm. If not already. So again, thank you for listening. I hope you found that one very useful, because I did mention it in a previous topic where we'd go into a little bit more detail. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Our next episode is going to be about our usual Mr. Bobble news roundup. So I look forward to sharing my further insights and inputs then. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much.